Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. I'm going to answer another viewer's question, hopefully. I have a Daiwa GS 30. This one's in kind of tough shape. It's missing the little bump guard. It's missing the little wrap here, but it should be able to do because it does have an anti-reverse function. And I got a question in on the GS 10. I'm thinking that the GS 10, 20, 30s all share the same blueprint in terms of design. The question was, how do we set the spring on the anti-reverse? So I'm going to show you how to do that. Kind of playing this one by the best I can do here. All kinds of things are going on with this reel. I just had line wrapped. We have a loose nut here. We have all kinds of things. This has been on my project pile. I just haven't had a chance to get around to. But the question is, how do I set the spring on the anti-reverse? And we should be able to do that. This is a viewer's question, and I thought I would try to help the viewer out by doing the video as it's easier. I just tried turning the handle. It didn't move. There's a lot of times you want to check under a cap that's not moving to make sure that you don't have the screw that's holding it in if you're going to try and turn it reverse as a screw and handle. So check first. In this case, we do have a screw on the back side of this reel that needs to be removed in order to remove that handle. I'm going to do this as a full take apart, so if you happen to have a GS30 and you're trying to service it, well, you'll see how to take that apart. We'll talk about the service points, even though I won't be servicing the reel today. I'll take it all apart, and then we'll get to that anti-reverse spring. We'll show you how that sets. I do take the pieces and parts and put them into a parts tray. And while I take those exterior parts off, I'd like to thank our first responders and essential personnel for all of their efforts in keeping us safe and healthy during this pandemic. Your efforts truly are appreciated. I thank you for all of your hard work and dedication to task. All right, so we're going to take the 3 screws out that hold the side plate in now. This is a nice reel. I just finished working on an SS5000, another one of these Daiwa hard-cased reels. Beautiful reels. They're pretty desirable still in terms of having stood the test of time. And in this case, this one's kind of had a tough life. But if I can find that connector for the bail plate shield here, and if I have the time, we can just clean this reel up and get it out there fishing again. That's the second. There's one more screw here, and then we'll get underneath here and we'll show the viewer how to set that spring. Okay, you should be able to remove the side plate. Next up, then, we want to remove our axle shaft. Make sure that you turn it so that it's on the down force position so that you can get access. This reel has been taken apart. It's clear. Everything is loose in here. So I don't know what they were trying to solve, but nothing is tight. Once you remove that tie-down screw, you can pull your axle shaft up. You can also see how dirty and kind of beat up this is. Remove your main gear. And everything else came out with it here. That's kind of interesting in and of itself. But we have the main gear. We have the crosswind block. We have the oscillation gear. And we have a little washer underneath here. I'm not familiar with that washer. Apparently it does fit there. So let's call that the backing of the oscillation gear. And then we want to go up top because that's where your anti-reverse is. Okay, that wasn't held on, was it? That whole rotor was just off with that screw. Here is the anti-reverse spring in the setup. You have an anti-reverse spring that's pivoted on the corner here and has the shaft. I'm hopeful that this shaft still works. It does, so we can kind of continue here with doing what we wanted to do. You have to take the anti-reverse dog and click ratchet off on this one. You do that by removing the center screw. And while I'm doing this, if you're interested in this type of a video, if you like to see how reels are made, how they come together or taken apart, If you like to see how to service a reel, maybe it's just the reel you happen to own that we're doing right now, or it could be something more than that, then subscribe. I ask you to subscribe. It helps my channel, and it also helps folks learn along the way. That's kind of why I'm doing this, and I'm trying to get as many reels as I can in here and published so that you can see how it's done. In order to set that spring, you need to take the bar that passes through the case off, and to do that you have to remove this little plastic lever or swing arm to that. Sometimes these are pretty brittle, so just be careful as you do this. They're just kind of a press fit on there. Sometimes it's just a series of bigger screwdriver blades to get it off, just like that. And then watch what's underneath here. Almost always there is a washer, and sometimes there's a collar that goes under there, like the pen reels have a collar that runs under there. I'm just going to take that off. I'm going to leave these right here because hopefully we can get that done. Once you do that, then you should be able to push up on this bar. Okay, I think you're seeing how it's going to work now, right? We're going to remove this spring just so that we can show the complete take apart and assembly of it. This is your anti-reverse spring for the reel. It has a hook and it has a tag end. The hook goes through the eye of that arm. You center it over that hole, kind of moving that arm down. As you go. And don't worry where the override mechanism is at the moment. Line it up, bring it over, get it in that hole, just like that. Now, we have a space here, and we have that block there. That's the travel arm block, okay? You need to be on top of that block like this, not under it. And then hand strength will usually do this. You want to turn it in a counterclockwise direction and push down, just like that. Now you've got the back end of that anti-reverse dog override sitting inside that bump. You should have the bar all the way through the case. We're going to put that washer back on. Again, this reel is not being rebuilt at the moment, so just be aware that all this crud and grease and junk and the like is just there for the moment. Put the plastic cap back on. Next up, tighten your screw down to hold that all in place. Give that a test to make sure that that spring is operational. It is. I'm flipping the lever below here. Then what you want to do is, if you've had the anti-reverse dog and the like apart, let's just clean this up a little bit. The anti-reverse dog is a forked pressure system. You seat it onto the click ratchet or the anti-reverse ratchet. That's a kind of a squared situation there. So what you want to do is line that up with the post. I'm going to put this in the off position, and then you're going to roll it so that your anti-reverse dog is over the hole that's going to accept that screw. Okay, there we go. All right, when you come down, that shoulder may catch the top of the dog because there's a tight tolerance on there. That shoulder is a smooth shoulder, but you'll notice right now that that screw appears to be tight, but it's not, because there's a gap in that dog. So just back it up a little bit until you get it centered, and you can continue to complete turning the screw in the rest of the way. That'll set your dog. Then you can twirl the pinion gear shaft and turn it backwards to make sure that that anti-reverse is flowing properly. Then you want to just click to make sure that you have the override, which pulls that beak out of the way, and that's your override function. then come on back in the other way, and you're done. All right, so I hope that's answered the viewer's question. What we did, just to recap, we removed the anti-reverse dog and the click ratchet after removing all of the pieces so that we could get the rotor off. When we got the rotor off, we removed the dog, the click ratchet, we removed the base lever. Fortunately, this one was not stuck in place. We were able to push up on this lever, clear this bar here, and then we had the spring. The spring has got the hook on the one side, which goes through the eyelet of the anti-reverse override. The other one goes into the hole in the case. Let's see if we can bring that up nice and close now for the viewer. Goes in the hole of the case here. The other part is that little hook that goes into the arm of the override bar. We had it up top because we had it way out of position. We took the tension off of this spring, and then we were just able to turn this to the proper position, clear that little stop, and seat it by pushing it through there and through the case below here so that we could attach that lever. So that's how it's done. I hope that answers your question. I hope that's the setup on your GS10. I think it is. And I appreciate you asking, and I appreciate all of those that are watching this video. So if you like this kind of video, please subscribe. If you want to see more, please hit the notification button. If you liked it, please indicate that. And if you have any questions like the viewer did, then please leave them in the comments section. I'll try and do my best to answer those questions for you. So this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Again, thanking our first responders and essential personnel. Wishing everybody a great day. Please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. Have a great day.